this is something called Income Blueprint. 7 types of income streams, all right? So you know there are different types of ways that people make money, okay? And I want to go over these 7 categories of income streams, okay? Number 1 is W-2 income. This is the one that everybody is very familiar with, right? Because this is the one that is income from work that you do as an employee, right? You get a job and they pay you a paycheck. This type of income is active income, right? Because you're trading your time for money, right? They're paying you for the hours that you are working, right? That's called active income, okay? So W-2 income is an example of active income. And this type of income is the most heavily taxed income, right? The government taxes you. In fact, they take the money out of your paycheck even before you get the money. You know what I'm saying? Because if ever you look on your pay stub, for those of you that have worked a job, you look on your pay stub, you'll see like your gross amount, and then you'll see all the deductions, right? Where the money is coming out of your paycheck. And then you get the remainder, right? And then at the end of the year, if you haven't paid enough, then you have to even pay more when you file your taxes at the end of the year, right? So W-2 income is income from work that you do as an employee, okay? Any questions on that? Everybody's clear on that, W-2 income, okay. Now, let's talk about the second type of income, business income. That's like when you have your own business, when you're an entrepreneur, right? Business income is when you are making money and you're getting paid directly from clients and customers. You're not going through some other business. You are the business, right? So it's business income. Now, business income, this is income from operating a business, okay? The advantage regarding this type of income is that the IRS allows business owners to take a wide range of tax deductions that lower taxable income. So that's why business income, it's in many ways it's better than W-2 income, because with business income you have the opportunity to lower your taxable income through tax deductions. So you're saving money on taxes, right? You're not paying as much taxes because you can lower your taxes.
You can lower your tax income.
Yeah, you can lower your taxable income through business income. Because, and here's why, right? Because you can take a wide range of tax deductions, okay? So here's the thing, the tax code is designed to benefit business owners and investors. So the IRS, the tax system, they give business owners and they give investors, like real estate investors, tax benefits, right? Because they want to promote entrepreneurship and they want to promote investing, right? So now, you might be wondering, is business income active income or passive income? Well, it depends, right? If you are working in the business, it is active income, right? Because you are actually working in the business, right? But if you are hiring people to work the business for you, it becomes more passive, right? Although you still have to oversee it and manage people, okay? So an example would be like, for example, a house cleaner, okay? If a house cleaner is doing all the work herself or himself, that's active income, right? But then you have some house cleaners that they will get the jobs and then they will hire other cleaners to work for them, you know? All right? So that is, so that makes it a little more passive, you know, when it's that way. All right? So we talk about W-2 income, we talk about business income, right? And now let's talk about interest income. What is interest income? It's income that comes from investing, right? Like when you have a high yield savings account, you know, at a bank, right? And the bank is paying you interest. That's interest income. Also, private money lending. If you're lending out money, so let's say you're lending out money to real estate investors, and they're paying you interest on the money, right? That they're borrowing from you. That's interest income as well, right? Dividend income. This is income from distributions to shareholders. This is income that comes from owning stock, right? And we're going to talk a little more about the stock market in a little bit, right? Capital gains also is from, you know, like stock market. It comes from when you have assets and the value of the assets increase. Yeah.
Okay, interest income is money that comes from interest.
Yeah, interest income is interest, right? So it's money it's like money that you make when you're loaning money to other people, right? And you know, when you open up a bank account, right, and you put money in a bank account, some savings accounts pay interest because it's like you're loaning the money to the bank, right? So yeah, and so in fact, so we have several people that have jobs, right, and several people that plan to work jobs. Well, here's a little side note. When you start making money, you want to open up a bank account. And please write this down on your notes piece of paper, right? You want to get an account that's going to pay you interest. It's something called a high yield savings account.
When you get a job, you want to.
You open up a bank account, right? And you want to have a checking account, okay? A checking account and a savings account, all right? And what you want to do is you want to make sure that your savings account is a high yield savings account. Certain banks offer high yield savings accounts. Means that the bank will actually pay you interest on the money that you have deposited in the account. Yeah?
Do you know a few banks that does that?
For example, Capital One Bank. Capital One. Anybody have an account with Capital One?
My
Yeah.
father does.
Yeah, Capital One? Okay. So look into the high yield savings account that Capital One Bank has. Because right now it pays over 4%. Alright? Which for bank accounts, that's pretty high. Because the average savings account pays only like 0.5%, like less than 1%. But high yield savings accounts, they pay more, right? It fluctuates, and right now it's like over 4% that Capital One pays, right? And there may be some other banks that also pay high yield. Right? I know for sure in this area, Capital One does, all right? So you want to look into that, right? Because you want your money to make money for you, right? So that's interest income. And dividend income and capital gains income, that relates to like investing, you know, like a good example of that is like in the stock market, right? Rental income, that's where you're making money off renting out things. Like the most popular example is real estate. Like you buy a house and then you rent out the house to tenants, right?
Oh.
Yeah? How you, like, yeah, you know, like you become a landlord, right?
Yeah,
And people are
I got
paying you.
confused for a second when you meant like rental income. But now I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, rental income. And think about it, it's like
You're
you're renting a house, like is I mean, really it could be anything. I mean, look, there's companies called like Turo that you can rent out a car to other people and get rental income that way, you know? But the most common type of an example is real estate. When you're renting out like a house, you become a landlord, you know? That's something to think about in the future, you know, as you start to build, you know, to start to, you know, invest in real estate where you can like buy properties and rent them out, you know, and gain rent. So that's that. And then the seventh one is royalty income. Anybody know what royalty income is? Royalty income is income that you make off of intellectual property, right? It's income from selling the rights to use an asset, such as intellectual property. So examples are books, online courses, YouTube channel monetization, right? So it's very passive because once you create it, like once you write the book, once you create the course, once you create the videos, right, then you no longer have to do any more work. You start to continue to get paid off of intellectual property that you have created.
So basically like people buying the things you like make.
Sponsor.
Like a book.
Exactly, like a book.
Being sponsored.
Things you sponsor. No, I'm talking about like you write a book and then you self-publish it on Amazon, right? And you get it all set up, and it takes work to get it up there, but once it's up there, it's very passive. As people buy your book, you collect royalties.
So royalty income basically when people buy
Yeah, basically royalty income is when people buy or use something that you created. Because you have the rights to it. You know, another example is music, right? You know, like the music artists that are getting paid continuously off of the royalties, right? Yeah. So 7 types of income. So here's the thing: when you're working a job, it's all W-2 income, right? And which is cool, and like all of us have to start here, right? W-2 income, we're trading our time for money. But eventually we want to get to a spot where our money is making money for us, right? Isn't that cool to be in a situation where your money is making money for you, right? That's why I want to encourage you all to start investing as early as possible, you know? Because you want to start investing, you want to start to build up you know, your passive streams of income. Yeah? So, questions on this? Any questions?
Can you go to the business plan part? The business plan part, like.
The business plan? Okay, yeah. So, like how to write a business plan. Okay.
Kind